Well, one of the most shared stories of the past few days has been the reaction to the tragic death of Whitney Houston. Houston released 3 movie soundtracks and 7 studio albums, 3 of which went multi-platinum, selling over 20 million copies. So, Missy, what was your reaction when you heard of her death?
I mean, it's very sad because obviously I grew up on Whitney Houston, and I remember, you know, her singing "How Will I Know," and just like trying to sing along with the Whitney Houston song is impossible because she's such an incredible singer. You know, it's like you're just going to sound bad. And then just to see, like, you know, whatever happened since the moment she married Bobby Brown. Like, I don't know what happened exactly, but like. I mean, I think we know what happened.
It's pretty well documented what happened.
But I mean, it's just she was so phenomenally talented. It was very sad.
Were you surprised at how the social web reacted, Kevin, since you're online a lot?
I wasn't. I mean, it was, again, it was another one of those, oh, this is going to be a giant story, and I found out about it while I was, you know, casually scrolling through Twitter from people saying, I'm going to this party, it's canceled, Whitney's dead, can't believe the party's canceled. Like, it was just so quickly callous of social media to jump to that point. And there's no, like, well, is it too soon to say certain things? Well, not in the Twitterverse. I mean, it's 30 seconds after it had happened. Actually, no hyperbole, 30 minutes after it was announced that she had passed, Sony Music jacked the prices up on iTunes of all of her songs.
That caused a whole uproar
expecting
online.
a rush.
Yeah.
And I go, like, look, for anybody to say something's too soon to make a comment or post a meme on Reddit or whatever, Sony Music is trying to profit before the body's cold. I'm sorry, there's no other way to say it. That's
they
what
were
happened.
claiming it was like, oh, it was just a mistake. We just happened to notice it now. Maybe no one was buying Whitney albums before and they had discounted them. I don't know.
Yeah, 8 o'clock on a Saturday, someone slipped and hit the Whitney switch, and it accidentally jacked the prices up on one artist who just happened to pass away. I'm not buying that at all.
It was interesting because the AP confirmed her death from her publicist, but there were actually, the person who tweeted it first was a random Twitter user who, his name's Big Chorizo.
Oh, I know Big Chorizo.
At Chili Masgrande. Chili Masgrande. He goes, he actually tweeted after the fact, just an ordinary dude who got a text message from a family member of Whitney Houston, and I tweeted it. # enjoying the fame.
It's a little...
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a little tacky. But
Isn't that well? But that shows how, I mean, this could have been a rumor because anyone could tweet anything, but obviously there's still a place for real outlets to confirm information.
Oh, certainly. You know, but that's like, what is a real outlet these days? Because you know, you see like the Kim Jong-un's reported death, which blew up last week. Everybody's saying, well, there's all these cars at the UN, and then people are tweeting like crazy on the Chinese Twitter that he's passed, and they're like, we're waiting for a real agency. Meanwhile, CNN and other people are tweeting out, hey, does anybody have any information? Does anybody in China, can they confirm? Like, what is a real news agency these days? It could be somebody's cousin who's on Twitter that happens to know somebody at a hotel that says...
It's kind of amazing.
And it does happen. And you were, right before we went live, you have a little Bobby Brown story.
Well,
not to like just call you out on that.
You know, it's funny. I had this car accident in the middle of the night. I was riding with my writing partner and I fell asleep, and I was like, I need to go. I have this thing about how I like to wake up in my own bed. So it was like 2:30, 3 in the morning, and we drive from her house to my house. And as I'm driving, I'm going off Coldwater, off the 101 at the Coldwater exit. If you're not in California, I apologize. And I'm going underneath the freeway, and there's this car. I have a green light. This car comes barreling off the exit ramp and just smashes my car and takes my front bumper off. And these like 4 big dudes get out of the car and they're like, hey man, you're sorry, you know, we don't have any damage. Do you have any damage? And I was like, my bumper is in the other lane of traffic. And they're like, all right, sorry. And these 2 guys like take my bumper, put it in the back of my car. And then this guy comes to my window and goes, have y'all been drinking too? And I was like, no, have you been drinking? He was like, no. And I was like, okay. And then this other guy comes over the door and he goes like, hey y'all, I'm Bobby Brown.
No,
and I was like, are you oh sorry, are you kidding me? Like, I can't, that I'm having, like, I think I had some bad luck last year, but I have a car accident with Bobby Brown in the middle of the night, and he's just like, I'd rather not the police not know about this. All these guys come, like, I have a skirt that's kind of up, sort of, I'm nervous, it's the middle of the night, and this one guy's like, oh, you guys are fine, is that your daughter? I was like, oh, thank you. to my writing partner, who actually played my daughter in a TV show, Megan Park. And then, and I'm like, oh, and he's like, well, let's just not deal with, I'd rather not have the police come, which I wish I had called them, but it was a little intimidating. And then I didn't call.
You
I
got
was
trapped
like,
in the
well, you were going to take
Bobby
care
Brown
of it. In the Bobby Brown vortex. I was like, I was like
influence.
3 in the morning, and they was like, oh, I'll take care of it, And I was like, are you sure? Are you sure you're going to take care of me, Bobby? I mean, I don't know who I became, but I was.
Bobby
and then
Brown has
they
told
left.
a lot of women he's going to take care of them.
Well, speaking of taking care of people and honoring people, as we all pay tribute to the iconic singer en masse, the family of Whitney Houston plans to hold a private funeral for her this Saturday in Newark, New Jersey.